So, if you guys have watched my channel before, you know I love a good art glow up challenge. I literally Saitama through that shit.
100 sit-ups! 100 push-ups!
But with my recent 1 week art glow up challenge, I realized I was not having a glow up. I was having a glow down. Worse than King Henry. The new one. Mind you, I practiced a lot. So where did I go wrong? Luckily, I feel like I figured it out. So if you're facing this too, this video might be the answer. It's Dark Reunion. It's definitely Dark Reunion. Back to the start of the challenge. This is how I planned my practice if anyone was interested. I take my recent illustration or simply the good ones. I observe it and look for things I feel needs improvement. Humbles me every time. Out of the list, I picked 3 subjects I want to work on. In this case, it was hand, poses, background. Then I plan a 1 week schedule around it. Day 1 and 2 for hands. Day 3 and 4 for poses. Day 5, 6, 7 for background. We have a map now. It's just a road to torture. I also take work of other artists as reference that I want my art to look closer to at the end of the challenge because I don't have any original ideas of my own, so I also have a note page on the side to write down anything new I learn or the tricks I discover to draw easier while practicing, which I share in form of tutorials to you guys both on YouTube and Patreon, so subscribe to both. A baddie always shares. We have a complete plan now, and I planned all of this using milanote. If you are new here, milanote is a visual planner and a free-form canvas where you can organize literally anything from your schedule to OC to portfolio to this video where I planned my 1 week art glow up challenge. Let me show you how I use it. First thing I love about milanote is that on the left side, you have all the tools you need. Notes, boards, documents, columns, and you can use them however you want. It's super user-friendly. For this challenge, I needed a schedule, so I used milanote's table feature to map out a day in my week. Then I created notes where I write down my goals, what I wanted to focus on, what I thought I would improve. Inside my main challenge board, I created sub-boards, one for each day, Monday to Sunday. This nesting feature is perfect for organizing without clutter. In each daily board, I documented what I practiced, what I learned, what went wrong, what actually helped, honestly like a visual diary. I also used milanote's document feature to write down proper notes, and yes, you can export them as PDFs or Word document, which is super useful if you like keeping records of your process. Another huge way I use milanote is for storing OCs. Every artist knows how painful it is to keep a track of multiple characters. I have one main character board, inside that separate subboards for each characters, and inside that even more subboards for their weapons, clothing, design, everything. And whenever I get a sudden idea, I just use the pen tool to sketch or write directly on the board. There's even line tool to connect ideas and show process flow. You can also add the milanote browser extension and upload references straight from Pinterest or the web. And if you want feedback, you can share your board with a link and let your friends leave comments. I literally use milanote for everything as an artist. I have a reference board filled with art pieces that inspire me, a practice board where I store my art process over the months, and even an entire portfolio in one place. A portfolio isn't just about drawing, it includes your process. Using line feature, you can show that workflow and use the note to convey that idea behind those pieces. All of that can live in milanote. Milanote is available for free with no time limit, and it's genuinely one of the tools that keeps me motivated and organized as an artist. If you want to try it out, sign up using the link in the description and show them some love. Back to the challenge. Day 1, I drew 100 hands. Day 2, I drew 100 more hands. Yeah, I was not kidding about the Saitama part. On day 3, I was still breathing, don't worry. It was time to practice poses, right? So I was like, I just learned to draw hands. So when I'm drawing full body poses, I should be able to draw hands as part of it, right? Right? It was so stupid. I could draw hands individually, but couldn't with other parts of the body. I remember this happening with other practices too, like I would practice drawing hair individually and master it.
Light work, no reaction.
But the moment I have to draw it in a head, suddenly it looks like a very bad, stiff wig. So, what's the problem? Not being familiar with drawing together. When I practice drawing hands, I simply practice the part alone, not with the rest of the body. So, when I need to draw a hand as part of the body, my brain is simply unfamiliar with it in both matters of size and placement. So, I'm not dumb. Same concept applies to any time you practice just one part of the body. See, all of our parts are connected. Obviously, we need one part to move the other. It's the anatomy of it all. Hand doesn't twist on its own. If it does, the fuck, see a doctor. Your arm must twist for your hand to twist. Without the arm, you don't even know if your hand should be palm up or down. So naturally, you must learn and practice the forearm turning too. Same concept applies to every part of your body. You can practice head from all the angles, but it's the neck that helps the head move. So if you don't practice neck alongside the head, what are you drawing, baby girl? Freaking animal, don't piss me off. Also, the whole size problem. When we practice the hand individually, we have no clue how big one part is compared to the other part. So I have no clue of the size of the hand when it's placed next to the rest of the body. It's giving a lioness doesn't concern herself with proportions. That's how we end up with yaoi looking hands. Idiots! When you practiced with the rest of the body, your brain will start to customize the hand to fit the body. And if you need a tutorial on proportions of the body, to how to use one part of the body to measure the other, watch this video. To our original problem, what's the solution? Adding more parts as we practice. I will explain. Let's take hand practice as example again. For day 1, you should practice by just drawing the hand. Get good at it. Day 2, you practice hand attached to an arm. Day 3, you practice drawing the hand attached to the whole upper body. Day 4, you draw the whole damn body. This way you will not overwhelm yourself by jumping from a hand to a full body and stress yourself out and let yourself go bald. Plus your brain and hand will get more familiarized with the placement of the hand, but also the size. So when you add more and more parts to your practice, you actually learn and master it. This concept goes to any form of practice in your art. So that's why in my eye tutorial, once we practice just the eyes, I ask you guys to practice the full head to familiarize yourself and actually put the practice to use. You might be like, oh, that's too much practice, that's boring. Samantha, we are here to win. And you know I'm more lazy than any of you guys. So if I say it's necessary, it is necessary. I actually want you guys to improve. So improve.